This podcast is proud to be part of the TalkSport Fan Network. TalkSport. Powered by fans.
Hi, welcome to the away end. We are back into league action after what was a very strange week. To play football in the league on a Thursday evening has not been heard of until this season, and good old Sky decided to lump it on us. So after Birmingham have had a very hard-fought 1-1 draw at Wrexham, which was a very composed game for the team, we are now going into a period within February where we will find ourselves with a run of 5 home games. And that's just the beginning of the fixtures backlog that we're going to take into force. Saturday sees us playing a game again at 3 o'clock on a Saturday, back to normality. So we're looking forward to that. And we will be taking on Rotherham United. So today I am joined by Matt Lax from the New York Talk podcast to again go through the game that we're looking forward to on Saturday. Saturday, though, is a bit of a difference. We will this weekend be celebrating the life of Leo Ross, young 12-year-old lad who unfortunately had his life taken away way too short just a couple of weeks ago. We're now in the position where on Saturday, fans will be coming together at the front of the Kop to have a session where we celebrate his life and thank him as a Birmingham City fan. There will be the laying of flowers, there will be a balloon release, and also we will be joined by fans from Rotherham United who will also be laying a wreath on the day. So for all of those, if you can attend, it is an official supporters club set up. We will be meeting in the Kop car park and taking on the various activities between 1 and 1:30. Please, if you can make it, come and join us. It's the same for any Rotherham fans. It's a touching subject, but as always, football brings us all together. So no matter what the rivalries, we'll cover that off. On the 12th minute, there will then be a minute's applause, which I know already will be followed by everybody. And again, circulation has gone out to the Rotherham fans to join us. Please, if you can, come and help us celebrate. And if you want to bring along any flowers, if you want to bring along any balloons, please do. Meet us in the Kop car park and we'll make it a true event. So going into the weekend, as mentioned, we come off the back of Birmingham playing last Thursday, 1-1 draw at Wrexham. Then going into a game against Huddersfield on Tuesday evening that saw us come away with a 1-0 win. A game where it's fair to say Birmingham were in a composed state, had a fantastic winner of a goal from Anderson, and then going on to continue as 2 points clear at the top of the table. Wickham, though, still have this uncanny knack of scoring goals well into the 90s in terms of minutes, and again came up with a winning goal in the 95th minute, which keeps them just 2 points behind us. However, Birmingham, with 2 games in hand, should be able to pull away. And also 2 games in hand over third place Wrexham, who are now 8 points behind. So it's looking in a good position. Hopefully, Birmingham can go from strength to strength. Rotherham entered the game off the back of a defeat and 1 win. The last game was a win against Cambridge, which now takes them to 14th in the league and sitting on 37 points. So, you know, Matt, we go into this game where the record is Birmingham have won 21 games that we've played against each other. We've drawn 12, we've only lost 7. And in the last 5, 2 draws, 2 wins, and a loss from a Birmingham perspective. What do you think going into the weekend? And, you know, what differences will we now see from the Rotherham team that we saw at the start of the season? Have you had any players joining the window? Expect any difference in terms of the structure? Or judging by the smile that's on your face at the moment, are we expecting to see exactly the same again?
Well, transfers, first of all, we've signed one player. I think we've shipped out six. We're down to bare bones at the minute. We are expecting a signing before Saturday. But if we do get a signing, that'll take us to 16 first team players available. Obviously, two of those goalkeepers. So we are very, very thin on the ground. We have picked up in performances since the turn of the year. We've changed the formation a little bit, and we've got a point away at Huddersfield, and I've beat Lincoln away from home, and a few other decent results in there. Bolton and Charlton, we battered them basically 4-2 at home.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really impressive performances. I hope to see a different team to what you saw from us in back in September, because we just laid down. Yeah, Birmingham. We saw with our own eyes how good a team Birmingham are on that day, but at the same time, we just kind of rolled out the red carpet a little bit at times. It was just so frustrating to see. Especially when you're at home. All you can ask for is to try and make it difficult for the better teams in the league, and we didn't try and make it difficult for you. And if you fancied it, I'm sure this is not the only time this season. If Birmingham fancied it, it could have been 5 or 6 at our place, but you obviously got the 2 goals, and that kind of minds the game out. You've obviously got better, as you'd expect throughout the season. So that's a concern. So I am interested to see what we do. Is Steve Evans going to kind of play the same game of containment, which is never going to work, or is he going to try something a little bit different and try and find us method that might get sneak? We're going to have to be on his game big time to get anything, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd at least like to see us try and make it a bit difficult for you, if that's possible. But I generally don't know what to expect from us wearing the numbers and everything else at the minute.
So you mentioned there, obviously, I think if I remember rightly, Steve Evans had not long taken the role with yourselves the first time that we played. What's the difference now between that period at the start of the season and where we are as we now go into ultimately the I don't want to say the final run, but we're going downhill now towards the end of the season. So what has Steve Evans done that's made the difference? What's he brought to the team? And you mentioned there that you've made a signing, possibly another one to come. What are we to expect from those particular players?
We had Steve Evans 10 years ago, around 2012 to 2015 time. And one thing that he did first time around was he kept changing everything until he found something that worked. So he changed formation, he put players in random weird positions, and eventually it worked. It clicked and he got double promotion. It was brilliant. I thought 10 years later it might have changed a little bit, but it's exactly the same. So he just kept tinkering things and changing things. So on the New Year's Day, we changed formation completely. We put one of our best attacking midfielders as a centre half, and one of our centre halves as a holding midfielder, and it was an absolute revelation. It was absolutely brilliant. We went to Lincoln, who were a reasonable run of form, and absolutely battered them, and it was just so good. And he's stuck to it so far since then. Like I said, we've got the Bolton and Charlton result because of this new formation change. There's a better balance to the team at the minute since he's done that. Since he's kind of we're narrow in defence, but then when we attack, there's a bit of width there, and we've got what is a kind of natural City midfield, which we lacked a little bit. So we're quite reasonably solid. I know we considered 4 at Burton, but we're reasonably solid defensively now. There's a bit of backbone to the team. The team seems to have grown as a group, so there's a little bit of fight in there. Again, it's not perfect, but there is something there that I hope is building within this team.
Yep.
I'm hoping he kind of sticks with it because this formation does feel right. So I hope he sticks with this one. But Steve Evans, we could lose 3-0 on Saturday, could throw it all out kitchen window and do something different next week. So I'll have to wait to see. But I feel settled for the first time this season in terms of squad and players.
So I mean, what can we expect from the team then? And like I say, the players that you've signed. I mean, who are they first of all, and what positions are they in? And you mentioned there's one definite, one possible. Obviously, never one for speculation, but you never know. You might be able to talk about a player that's going to come along and set the world on fire. But what is that general consensus at the moment? What should we watch out for? And since that change, where do you think you've tightened up, or where ultimately are any weaknesses that you've got left?
Yeah, so it's in the change. With it's a back four, but with Cam Humphries in front. So it's almost a back five with Cam with him just in front, and then the rest of the team kind of push forward a little bit. So there is a gap in the middle a little bit there. So if you
Mhm.
can expose that, if you can exploit the gap and kind of make it bigger, then there will be bags of room. What we have done so far is we have been able to be relatively solid. Um, when we played Burton last week, they hurt us in the wide areas. So because it's kind of a diamond four, there can be a lot of space in the wide areas if we don't play well, and we didn't play well last week. So if you can get into those wide areas, it leaves our fullbacks really badly isolated
Mhm.
and causes problems. So probably the wide areas is where you want to get it in. If you can get in there with pace and numbers and get the overload in there, then if we're not on it, then there'll be bags of space for you to do it. The only signing so far is Lewis Sibley, who's coming on loan from Oxford. Is that now? He scored within 2 minutes of his debut against Burn. It was real fantastic, really well worked goal. He did really well. He played midweek against Cambridge and was excellent in the second half. He seems like one of those players that floats in and out of games, though. I think that's a potential issue for me.
Yeah.
He's never he's not perfect all the time, but when he's involved, it tends to be pretty good. But then it depends if Steve Evans is going to try and be more solid. If I was going to be more solid, I wouldn't play Lewis Sibley. So it depends what he wants to do in terms of Saturday, how tough he wants us to be to break down, or whether he wants to kind of give us an opportunity. The person we're meant to bring in, I don't know who it is, but it's allegedly a midfielder. I don't know where that will fit in, to be honest with you. I've given up guessing with Steve Evans' signings where they're going to end up playing. We once signed Connor Salmon as a target man and played him at right wing, so I've given up guessing what Steve Evans is going to do. But we're hoping to get one more in and bolster the numbers. Really, we need to bolster the numbers quite quickly.
I mean, it's going to be interesting because you've mentioned there already the space across the midfield, and that's it's one area where Birmingham have. Can I say strengthened? Yeah, I can say strengthened. You know, we've brought in Dal from Rangers on loan. He is a player that can pretty much float across the middle. He's got opportunities to go forward, and he has got a strike on him. He's coming because of injuries to what we've got. So, you know, in the first game, you had Williamson, you had Iwata, and you had Paik across our main midfield. We are without Williamson. We will be without Paik, I believe. And Iwata is a doubt after, well, I'm not even going to call it a tackle. It wasn't a tackle. It was a horrendous foul that was completely missed by the referee on Tuesday evening. It was quite possibly, you know, at the time, well, it could have been the type of injury that broke somebody's ankle and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
you know, we don't know whether he will play. What we do know is the injury is not as bad as what was first feared. So that is a bonus for us. And we've still got a couple of days where that rest and rehabilitation may help him get into the squad. So it'll be interesting to see across the midfield. If not, then I expect you to see the settled kind of space that we've had at the moment. We've also got a defence that's pretty settled. You know, Clara and Davis in the centre halves. Clara basically will head anything that's put in front of him at the moment. It's incredible. And the amount of pressure that we have soaked up in games, both against Wrexham and at times against Huddersfield, and the defence stood still. So it's absolutely superb. The wingers that are going forwards and giving opportunities. Laird at the moment, he's playing some sublime football. Got his first goal for the club a couple of weeks ago. He's been in attacking form as well, moving forwards. His delivery has got a lot better and giving us that output which we were sadly lacking at the start of the season. Stansfield still coming back for me from the injury that he had. Definitely not been on his game, especially at Wrexham. Wasn't on his game. Was a lot better on Tuesday night. So hopefully down to fitness. And then we come down to your arch nemesis, i.e. Elfie May, that seems to score against every team that he's put up against in this league at the moment. He is still, you know, ploughing away, but he is just such a workhorse and he creates opportunities. And then finally, we've got Dykes. Dykes is coming more and more into Birmingham's side. Player at the time, at the start of the season, where people were like, really? he's not going to do anything. And it's fair to say that when he came onto the pitch, he didn't really do too much to start off with. But over the past few games, he's got himself more and more involved. He has got himself more into the battling side of things, and has actually given us another outlet, but also giving teams another thought that they have to put into the back of their minds. So it's going to be an interesting one, because I think if you do set up the way you've said, and you do leave that space across the midfield, then I fully expect the types of Leonard across that midfield to kind of exploit that space and hopefully then give us those balls going forwards. And Alfie May playing as a natural striker and then Stansfield out on the wings could be a pleasure to watch. Maybe not as much of a pleasure for yourselves, though. So we go into the game. Obviously, Birmingham looking to continue on the run that they're on at the moment of unbeaten. We can go in and set a new record if we get a win or a draw into the weekend. So they'll be heading and keeping their heads high. I know Chrissy Davies will be firmly focused on just what's in front of them. For yourselves, you'll be looking to get a result if you possibly can, and I should imagine you will set up in such a way that it's making it hard to break down. That's what I've seen with most teams that have come to St Andrews at Knighthead Park. That's what I expect from yourselves on Saturday. A new challenge for you now, though. So we've talked about the games that we've played against each other over the years. We know 2 wins, 2 draws, and a loss for Birmingham in the last 5 games. However, I'm wondering whether you could name the top scorers from the games that have been held between Birmingham and Rotherham. And what I can say is, in the games that have been played, Birmingham's top scorer is friend of the show, Lucas Djukovic.
So he always scores against us. So
he is top of the shop as far as goal scoring is concerned as well. So in all the games that we've played against each other, he has scored 4. However, the next 4 in the goal scoring tables have all come from Rotherham. They've all scored 2 goals. Can you name them?
Well, one was Richard Wood, because I think he got 2 in one game, I think. Is that 2 in one game? Oh, that's somebody else.
Correct. Yeah, centre back Richard Wood. He scored 2.
Yeah. We beat 2-0 that time. We were both Woody ones. No, I can't think of any. We never beat you, did we? So that's the problem.
I could tell you that 2 of the players are centre forwards, and the other one was a right-sided midfielder. And as an added clue, just because I'm feeling nice, one of those players that's the centre forward actually also played for Birmingham.
Right. That should help.
He didn't play many for Birmingham.
Are we going back to Matt Derbyshire? Matt Derbyshire,
indeed. Yes, Matty Derbyshire is one of those players that's got you the 2 and was one of those centre forwards.
Right, yeah, I remember him scoring at your place in a lot in a defeat. Jerry Yates?
No.
No.
First initials right for one of them, though.
Oh. J's. I can't think of any J's we've had.
So the J one is right midfielder. And the other striker is a name that I think he's renowned for actually scoring against Birmingham as well. So if you want the initials.
Yeah, go on, give me initials.
Right midfielder, JT.
Jerome Thomas?
No.
Striker,
no, DW. That should give that one away.
DW. It should give it. I can't think of any DW. DW. Danny Ward.
Correct. So Danny Ward and Matty Derbyshire, your 2 centre forwards. You just got that midfielder.
Yeah, JW sounds like I should get a right midfielder as well. I do like a right midfielder. No, I don't think we're going to get JW. That's going to annoy me and all.
And you'll probably kick yourself when you hear the name of John Taylor.
Right, yeah. I don't remember him scoring against you. He didn't score many goals.
He obviously got two at some point against Birmingham. So over the years, that's the way we've been. Right then, so big match on Saturday, 3 o'clock. We mentioned it St Andrews at Knighthead Park. I know yourself, you've got plans, so you're not coming down, but I'm sure you've got a good following coming from Rotherham. Tell us, what does your head say and what does your heart say the result will be?
I think it's one of the few games where the head and the heart are on the same page, sadly. uh, there's no logic that says we should get anything. Having said that, it'd be very Rotherham United to lose to bottom of the league last Saturday and then somehow pick some against them. I don't think that's going to happen. It'd be very Rotherham United. Yeah, it's going to be a relatively comfortable 2-0 probably to you guys. It would be a minor miracle based on what we've done so far against the better teams this year. We just haven't picked up results again, other than Huddersfield. We just haven't picked up results against anybody who's up there in and around the promotion challenge. If we can get something, it'd be a massive statement because we'll be back within very close to the playoffs, which we're hoping to be close to. But I just can't see it. It would take a very, very, very good performance from us, and I just don't think we've got that level in us at this point. So yeah, comfortable 2-0 to Birmingham, I think. Sadly,
I mean, you're not going to like this. I keep on saying that there's going to be a team that at some point takes a drubbing.
yeah.
We haven't seen it yet, but what we're beginning to see now from the squad is a camaraderie and a coming together of almost like a family. And at some point or other, it has to gel. My head says that we'll go and get 3, maybe 4. My heart is just sticking with the 3. I don't think we'll concede. However, it does very much depend on how you set up on the day. If you come out at us and you come and have a go and you put the high press on and the pressure, then with the injuries that we've got at the moment, we may experience a few little niggling points. But I mean, I'll go with I still think we'll get the 0. So I'm going to say 3-0 with a hope of 4. I want to build that goal difference. I'm not going to lie, but also I just think it's time, and hopefully we'll see that. And as fans, with this run that we've got through February, it's just going to be incredible. And we've got teams that are all in and around the same positions in the league. We've got Cambridge to come who are fighting for their lives. We have got this great FA Cup tie in between, which is going to be phenomenal. Seeing Newcastle down at St Andrews is going to be great. A sellout crowd without fail. And, we're going to have a big crowd as well on Saturday for the game. So thank you very much indeed, as always, for joining us. Here's to a great game on Saturday. Thanks for joining us on the away end, as sponsored by AMG Logistics. And I hope safe journey for any Rotherham fans that are coming down. Thank you in advance for all the support that has been given to the Birmingham fans, and as mentioned, the celebrations of Leo's life on Saturday. Footballing family automatically comes together when there's horrible things that occur, and this is just showing again how that is happening. So enjoy the game for all those Rotherham fans that are coming down. Enjoy the day, and may the best team win, which, as always, I'm going to say hopefully is Birmingham. And but for the rest of the season, good luck. Keep pushing on. This league is so open that I don't believe for any teams in and around yourselves that the playoffs are not possible. So keep pushing for that. And you never know. We might be playing each other again next season and going through the away end twice. So, Matt, thank you very much indeed. And I'll sign off by saying, keep right on.